Welcome back to episode 9 of my journal. Today I want to talk about a reset, kind of a reset though. It started with one subscription the last time I mentioned this. When I canceled it, one of the media subscriptions, I felt good about it and then made a mistake of pulling on that thread because once you start questioning one thing, you start questioning other things or even everything. And before I knew it, I was staring at my entire digital life and thinking, this is a whole freaking mess though. Too many email addresses. I don't even know exactly how many there are at this point. Some I use daily, some I created for a specific reason 3 years ago and never closed. Some are just floating, you know. And it's not just the email, it's the cloud storage, the files across Dropbox, because I'm a huge fan of Dropbox. Yeah, just, don't shoot me for that one. An eternal SSD drive, probably a folder somewhere I haven't opened since 2020. Old project shelved, half finished documents, stuff that I've been saving for years, hoarding, thinking I would come back at it. But I never did. I never came back to it. So I made a decision that I'm going to do a full reset for myself. One clean, dedicated email address that everything runs through going forward. Subscriptions, accounts, tools, logins. I'm going to consolidate everything under one roof or, with a backup, of course. And not because some productivity guru told me to, just because I think the current setup is just inefficient and it starts to annoy the fuck out of me. And now I'm done tolerating it. I just don't know how long it will take. Probably longer than I would expect. And these things always are, but the goal is very simple. When I'm done, I just want to open my inbox, know exactly what I'm looking at, no noise, no old accounts attached to an email I barely check, just clean slate. And while I was digging through, well, I'm still doing this though, but while I was digging through all of these old folders and files, I found something I did not expect. There was a lot of content that I wrote, old writing, recordings, stuff that I made at some point, never published, and then forgot it existed. It wasn't journaling stuff because this is very new for me, the way that this podcast is going. It was more like I was bumping into a topic. I had a strong opinion about it, and I just unloaded, very raw, unfiltered, no structure and no plan at all, just a thought that needed to get out of my mind. And reading through all that, or at least a few bits left and right, I felt something. I don't know if it was nostalgia or recognition. Like, that's actually still how I think. And it made me want to do something with that energy in my mind, or in my body. And I've been thinking about starting a second podcast, because I turned completely content creator, and I want to have the same format at this one. Just me talking, no edits, no freaking production layer. But instead of a live journal, it should be more topic driven. Something I bump into, at 2 a.m. in the morning. A thing I'm thinking about that week. I want to provide an opinion, a perspective. Like one of those opinions you can't let go. I record it once, I put it out, I move on. No revisiting, no polishing, just thoughts, I think, unfiltered. I don't have a name for that yet, and I don't have a plan for it. And I'm not even sure when it happens, but the itch is real. And I've learned that when something keeps coming back to me, I should probably pay attention to it rather than just file it away under a maybe someday. And maybe this is the perfect chance for me to do this when I'm doing this entire reset. And that's where I am. Those two things running in parallel now. And it fits neatly with, content creation, blogging, which, is still one of my micro goals. And I think this is achievable if I find the right flow. So this reset is bigger than I thought it would be when I started pulling on that thread. And it's not just canceling that subscription, it's just more deciding which tools I actually want in my life going forward, which apps I still use that generally serve me at this point versus the one I'm just used to it. It's very different. There's a distinct difference between those two. And it's actually a harder question than it sounds. But I think I'll go more into detail about the specific tools and setup that I'm going to use in an upcoming episode once I've actually made the decisions and not just the intention. I'd rather talk about what I did than what I'm planning to do. But for now, to keep myself in check, this reset is in motion, and I just wanted to document this very briefly in an update for my journal. Thanks for listening if you did, and see you next time.